Hey, what's up, everyone? Thanks for checking out week 4 of the SRL Power Rankings. I am Southside Braves, coach of the Nashville Neatos, and once again, I'm joined by Coach Aboot of the Saladon Flapples.
What's up, guys? I hope you're ready for an exciting recap for the power rankings this week.
Yep, so just like every week, we're going to go from the bottom to the top and recap how everyone did and where they sit in the new Power Rankings. So let's get right into it. Sitting at number 16, we have the Rally Goons. They remain at the 16 spot after their closest match of the year so far. They lose 1-1 to the Wedgehurst Rillaboom. G-Max Saladon picked up 3 kills in an effort to get this team its first win of the year, but unfortunately came up just a little bit short with that timer, bringing it to a 1-1 loss. So they are remaining at number 16. Moving on to number 15, we have the Gallagher Ninjas, also remaining put this week. They were looking to bounce back after the unfortunate mistake of bringing a Pokemon that wasn't on their roster last week. But unfortunately, they had to go up against the number 1 team in the league, the only unbeaten team left, this week to do that, and it didn't go over quite the way they were hoping. They do lose 4-0 to the Helgon Hydreigons, and their MVP does go to their Alolan Raichu. Moving on to number 14, we have the Celadon City Porygons. They lost 0-4 in that. Their MVP goes to the Porygon Z. They did lose to Wild Area Renegades. And unfortunately, once again, we had another team drop the league after this loss. So the Porygons are no longer a part of the league. Again, I'm sorry I don't remember the coach that replaced them. It just happened a couple days ago. But we will have a new team in that spot in the rankings starting next week. But that is number 14. So moving on to number 13.
Holding strong in the 13th spot, we have the Atlanta Talonflames. He had a 0-3 loss versus our number 6 seed. The match started off a little slow for the Talonflames, but their MVP, G-Max Grimsnarl, was able to strike back with 2 KOs, but it just wasn't enough to bring them back into the game.
All right, moving on to number 12. We have the Wild Area Renegades, who did pick up that 4-0 win over the Saladon City Porygons. And this was a nice win for the team, but unfortunately, there were other teams more deserving to move up in the rankings we felt this week. So even though they did win, unfortunately, they do fall one spot, which is always rough to see, but it's unfortunate, but it happens. Their MVP did go to G-Max Flapple, who I believe picked up 3 kills in their match. So the Wild Area Renegades do sit at 1-3 4 weeks into the season. Moving on to number 11, we have the Wedgehurst Rillaboom. They currently sit at 2-2. They picked up that 1-1 tie victory against the Rally Goons. Their MVP was Dragapult, I believe, picked up 2 early kills for them. Again, like I said, they did win and unfortunately also fall one spot. But again, they did beat the bottom team in our rankings, and it was a very close match. So another unfortunate situation where they do fall a spot after the win, but they are sitting at 2-2. Moving on to number 10, we have the Lavender Town Gangars, who picked up a close 0-1 loss to the Saladon Flapples. They are also sitting at 2-2. Their MVP goes to the G-Max Corviknight, who was able to take care of the Araquanid in that match and get rid of those webs, which was an important part. And yeah, they unfortunately fall 0-1 though, and they fall 3 spots in the rankings down to number 10. Hopping up to number 9.
In the ninth spot, we have the Nashville Neato Kings. They've had a pretty rough schedule so far, picking up another loss this week to the number 3 seed, but it was a pretty bad match, a 0-5 loss. Their MVP, though, this week was Togekiss, claiming the lone kill for Coach Southside.
Yep, and this was a rough match. It did not go the way I was hoping, but looking to bounce back next week. Moving on to number 8, we have Coach Aboot and the Saladon Flapples. They move up 4 spots after picking the 1-0 win over the Gangars. They are sitting at 500 right now with that 2-2 record. His MVP goes to G-Max Charizard that picked up 3 kills in that match and got them early momentum and led to that 1-0 win. So climbing up 4 spots to number 8. Moving on to number 7.
In the seventh spot, we've got the Immunity Idols moving up 2 spots, and they bump down actually to 3-1, ending their undefeated streak. It was a super close match. They lost 4-4 versus the Cerulean City Mewtwo's. The MVP for that team was Como. It was able to set up Klinger as Soul and claim a KO, and that opened up the game for him. But he ended up just barely missing out on some HP to claim the match.
All right, moving on to number 6.
In the number 6 spot, we've got the Straw Hat Crocodiles picking up a 3-0 win versus the 13 and going up 500. Their MVP was actually Lucario. It was able to pick up 2 early KOs and just put their opponent so far behind that they weren't really able to come back. So it was also able to use Meteor Mash to take down the G-Max from Snarl to about half HP. So Lucario was huge early game for him.
All right, jumping to the top fives that have remained the same top five, I believe, all season, but a little bit different order this week. Looking at number 5 now.
Yeah, everyone. The first 3 of our top 5 here dropped down a spot, making room for the Nickets. But in our number 5 spot, we have Sen and the Cerulean City Mewtwo. Sen's MVP was Dracovish. It only claimed 1 kill, but it really kept Coach Bounté on the back foot, forcing a lot of switches, and that helped him to secure the victory this week.
Yep, and again, he did move down 1 spot even after a win. But again, these top 5 are pretty, I think, safe to say the top 5, and that I don't think anyone else is really close to him. So the order we put these top 5 are kind of up in the air, but he is sitting at number 5. Moving on to number 4.
On the number 4 spot, we have Coach Manny and the Stark Mountain Giratinas. They picked up a pretty big victory this week, winning 5-0 versus the number 8 seed. But they do drop, like Coach Braves was saying, making room for those Nickets. The MVP for Manny was actually G-Max Snorlax, and I really appreciated the set that Manny brought, the Yawn and Curse. It caused a lot of problems early for Coach Braves and punched some pretty big holes into his team, giving him a huge advantage early on in the match.
Can't say that enough. It caused a lot of problems. Moving on to number 3.
In our number 3 spot, we have the Lisbon Arcanine and Coach Squid. They claimed a 0-1 loss, actually, to the number 5 seed, bringing them down to 3-1. It was a pretty close match, and I gave a Lycanroc to the Arcanine as their MVP because it came up clutch with 2 KOs. And if it would have had Accelerock, it might have actually swung the game in Squid's favor, but that was just a little short-sighted on the planning, I think, but it was a very close match.
All right, and now jumping up to number 2, and the reason you saw 3, 4, and 5 all go down 1 spot.
Continuing his tear on a pretty big win streak, Coach Bishme and the Nickets pick up a 1-0 loss versus the number 2. He's been performing pretty well against the high seeds this season, bringing him way up the leaderboard. His MVP was Reboot, claiming 5 KOs in this match, and it really kept up momentum for him, keeping the other coach guessing about his set, and with U-turn, just able to get his new Mons in, and he just kept it up from there and claimed the victory.
Yeah, like you said, he did get that 1-0 victory, the only of the top 5 to play another top 5 team and pick up the win. So that's why you see him moving up 3 spots to that number 2. And lastly, number 1 should be pretty obvious. The only undefeated team, like I said, I stand by, the most impressive team of the season so far, and that is the Hellgon Hydreigons. They remain at that top spot. Coach Bladdle has been making short work of all of his opponents so far this season. Picked up a 4-0 win over Coach Shibby and the Gallagher Ninjas this week. His MVP goes to Lycanroc Dusk, who picked up 3 kills, and he was really in control of the match the whole way. Yeah, not much more to say. He's controlled every match he's played in so far, and he's going to look to continue that in Week 5, the only unbeaten team left. So, yeah, he remains in that top spot till somebody can take him down. So, lastly, now we have the Coach of the Week and the MVP that Coach Aboot's going to tell us about.
The Coach of the Week this week is actually the Manny for the Giratinas, claiming that huge 5-0 victory versus the Neato Kings. It was just the biggest defeat of this week, and there wasn't really that many upsets. So he gets the Coach MVP. And I do want to give an honorable mention to Coach Sen of the Mewtwo's for bringing the suit mirror match to Cote Mountain this week. I thought that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, that was definitely awesome seeing him bring out the suit. All right,
And
so MVP.
yeah, the MVP Mon this week goes to Reboot for the New York Nickets. Able to pick up 5 KOs, way more than any Mon this week. I think the next highest was probably about 3. And yeah, Cinderace Jr. just tore it up for Coach Bishby this week.
Yeah, so very impressive there. We're bringing that Reboot and getting great success out of it. So congrats to Reboot and Coach Manny on those awards. And yeah, that should do it for your power rankings this week. These are remaining fun to do. I enjoyed them. Hopefully you don't disagree too much with where we ranked everyone. And we're looking for more shakeups in Week 5. Anything you want to add,
Right.
Coach Aboot?
No, I don't think I got anything. Just make sure you tune in next week, guys. Should be a pretty eventful week.
All right. Yep. We'll see you all next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.